Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Let's Play. So now it's finally time to venture into Crisis City as Shadow the Hedgehog. And instead of riding down the, broken down streets with a piece of scrap metal, the Shadow decides to take the buggy route, which is miraculously left intact after the apocalypse. I'm guessing the thing is made of Nintendium. And honestly, you can venture out on this entire section right here on foot if you want to. Personally, I think the buggy is the better option, though it is prone to spontaneously combusting, so keep an eye on that energy meter, because there are times like, a lot of the enemies here are like that. You see, what actually happened there was that one of the Iblis swarms, spawned out of the ground near the vicinity of the buggy, and it caused it to, take a last bit of damage, and it exploded. Yeah, I recommend you hold on to the buggy for as long as you can in this part, because, anything to get past the stage faster, by all means go for it. I can't stress that enough. In terms of the the controls of the buggy itself, they're okay. I can say that I've controlled much better vehicles in other games, but then again, those games would probably have better controls for vehicles because that's the focus of the gameplay, and not so much here. You can double tap the A button while riding the buggy to get a short burst of speed, and it's damn near essential for one of the side missions we'll be getting to later in the game. I'm not looking forward to that one. But overall, Crisis City with Shadow the Hedgehog is not much different from Sonic's run. Well, I should say the first two parts of Crisis City are no different from Sonic's run, because Shadow gets a bit different in the later half of Crisis City, as we'll be getting into later. But it's one of the biggest problems I have with Crisis City in its entirety with Shadow the Hedgehog is this: there are a lot of times where the homing attack just fails to work properly in this stage. We'll be seeing that in a second here. Actually, I'm chaining homing attacks together, and there are times where Shadow just flips out in midair, and then suddenly the camera jerks left or right, and I'm suddenly heading into a bottomless pit, and I had no control over that whatsoever. In fact, I'm going to be I think I'm coming close to one right now, actually. Was actually what I want to talk more about that I didn't get a chance to discuss last part was one of Shadow's main abilities in this game is his Chaos Boost powers. He has 3 levels of them in its entirety, but right now we only have access to the Chaos Snap. And you see what happens is that when you fill the meter up to its maximum output, you can press the R trigger to activate Shadow's Chaos Boost. So for Chaos Snap, what it pretty much is that when you do the homing attack and you hold down the A button after unleashing the attack, Shadow will instantaneously teleport to the next enemy in the chain, which honestly does not... Look, did you see that? What happened there? I was trying to homing attack towards the wall so I can get a safe landing, but for some reason Shadow turned a hard right, and I ended up dying as a result. I have no idea what happened there. Anyway, here's another homing attack for look. I'm trying to... What? It's like, what happened there? Did I get hit by an enemy projectile in midair and I just, did I fall as a result? I don't know. I took damage at the last minute, but what happened? Did I run into the enemy and fail to... did it fail to register as a hit, or did I get hit by a projectile? I'm not sure. But anyway, in terms of the Chaos Snap, I honestly don't know how to utilize correctly. Because there are times where I'm using Chaos Snap in a chain of enemies, and Shadow will sometimes instantaneously teleport to the next enemy, but there are times where after I use the Chaos Snap on an enemy, and even though there's another enemy really close to my range, Shadow just decides to stop doing what he's doing and just falls straight down. It's real easy to actually fall into hazardous floors as a result of that. So I would not recommend using Chaos Snap over a bottomless pit or over stage hazards like lava or whatever is considered hazardous in these stages. Honestly, I really don't find Chaos Snap all that interesting. It's just since I have no idea how to utilize it correctly, I try to avoid using it unless I know for a fact it's gonna work, which I'm never sure of. Actually, I think Shadow the Hedgehog has some of the worst moves in the, you know, the actual, well, the worst abilities, I should say, in terms of, you know, what exactly he can utilize and such, you know, because I can get a lot of use out of Sonic's, you know, bounce bracelet and the gems, and I can get use out of Silver's abilities, but Shadow's, nah. I rarely use Chaos Snap, and I rarely use his other abilities, which we'll get into later, and it's just, it's disappointing. And I just find myself using the mash the A button to beat enemies constantly over and over again. And it gets boring after a while, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so this is where things start getting a bit different. And so now we're controlling Shadow's hang gliding section for this part, and it's, again, like most hang gliding sections with Shadow, it's not very long at all. In fact, I think that's one of the shortest hang gliding sections we've ever done so far, besides the one in Kingdom Valley. And again, you know, if you want to get past everything as fast as you can hold down the A button to accelerate the hang glider and, you know, get out there as fast as you can. Though, like I mentioned earlier, it is very easy to miss power-ups and, you know, extra goodies with that. So, you know, if you want to take your time and get like 3 extra lives during that section, but by all means, go for it. There's actually a lot of extra life capsules in this stage. You know, I can't tell if they expect you to fuck up a lot, or, you know, maybe they're just feeling awfully generous. I'm not sure, but I'll never know. Just one other thing I wanted to get into. I want to understand why. Now, I think it started with this game. I'm not sure if Sonic Heroes did it or not, or Shadow the Hedgehog did it. It's been a while since I last played those 2 games. But why did they remove the ability to just actually jump on enemies to damage them? I mean, you saw earlier, just about 30 seconds ago, I jumped onto an Iblis Swarm and I took damage as a result, even though, you know, I was in a curled up state, and I should have been able to inflict damage, but that didn't happen. I don't understand. You know, I guess you want to put more emphasis on the homing attack, but, you know, what if I don't want to use the homing attack? What if the easily hittable enemy on the ground is just right there in front of me? I don't want to use the homing attack. I'm perfectly capable of jumping on him. Why can't I damage him that way? You know, I'm actually glad that's one thing that I'm glad Sonic Colors fixed up. I think Unleashed might have done it too. I can't remember at the exact moment, and I know you can jump on enemies in Sonic Generations, you know. Someone had to have realized that, you know, you don't need to use the homing attack all the time. Sometimes jumping on enemies is just fine enough. Especially in like 2D sections, you know. Well, actually, this part right here is actually one of the most automated sequences in the game. We're not doing anything here. In fact, the beginning part of that grind rail section is one of the only times in the game where I really miss the ability to like instantaneously switch between rails, because there are 3 rails and the tornado is throwing cars at you. It only does it like one or 2 times. But again, since you can't switch rails instantaneously in this game, you have to manually jump off the rail and homing attack onto the other rail in order to avoid getting hit by the car. You know, if this was Sonic Adventure 2 or the Sonic Heroes, or Shadow the Hedgehog, I think, for that matter, you know, you can dodge the car easily, but instead you have to rely on manual jump controls and manual switching, and really, I think you're just better off just taking the hit, because after that, you know, the rest of the grind rail section is completely automated. Nothing else is going to hurt you. But we are nearing the end of Crisis City. I think this is the final stretch right here. In fact, I think I just saw the goal ring over there. I do believe Crisis City is one of the longest Shadow stages in the game, so I'm trying to remember off the top of my head if there's any other longer stages, and nothing's coming to mind. I think Dusty Desert is the longest stage, which is, you know, Shadow's last stage, so it probably would be. But no, I don't think it gets that much longer than this.
Ah, my precious Chaos Emerald. You are also beautiful. Your mysterious brilliance.
Your elegance. Your warm touch. Your Tootsie Roll center.
Omega? What's he doing here?
It seems he's in standby mode.
What could have possibly happened to create this future? Yes, this is Rouge. Understood. We'll be there in a minute. It looks like Sonic and his friends have found something, too. Let's go. It's not like we can do anything for him now.
Yeah.
They couldn't model an actual communicator, so they just have her talk to her hand.
You guys are so slow. Look.
A Chaos Emerald! You've already found one!
Well now, I may not look it, but I'm a real treasure hunter. Unlike a certain echidna I know.
What? Heh.
Have you guys discovered anything?
Yeah. I received a signal indicating there's a Chaos Emerald here, but...
You mean we've got to go through there?
If you don't like it, you can stay here.
You've got to be kidding.
Don't be late. Same to you.
Okay, now it's time for Flame Core. And yeah, actually, in terms of yeah, quick tip here, there's a little shortcut right here that you can take if you want to skip that entire loop sequence in the beginning of the stage. And you know, if you think you can control Shadow well enough in midair, then I recommend you take that, because you know you get sick of going through that loop sequence every once in a while. So I'm also going to be showing a few more different pathways that you can take with Shadow, ones that I couldn't take with Sonic. I don't think these... I think you can take these pathways with Sonic. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same stage, actually. So, you know, a little variety for the sake of not being too monotonous. And again, I hate these platforming sections with this homing attack and shit like this. This dash panel right here, you want to be very... Look, I barely missed that Iblis Swarm there. It is very easy to run into that Iblis Swarm during that dash panel sequence. And even if you still manage to dodge the Iblis Swarm, there are times where Shadow will hang on the side of the wall there, and you'll end up falling into the lava anyway. It's happened to me plenty of times before, and I am very lucky that it didn't mess up there. It's the game's wonderful collision detection just working with me there. And as you saw there earlier, I was holding down the A button. You see that's Chaos Snap not working there. There are times where just Shadow is supposed to... I want Shadow to go near the next enemy. The enemy's right there. Why wouldn't Chaos Snap work there properly? Shadow just stops what he's doing in midair and just falls down. In fact, I should probably be out of Chaos Snap mode here. But if you... Yeah, you see, if you hold down the A button, you can have Shadow stand in midair for as long as you want. Or at least until your meter goes down. I don't know why you can do that. And because since you can do that, I'm not exactly sure why the Chaos Snap would fail in the first place. I just don't get this game's programming with this. By the way, if you're wondering what that projectile attack was, which I don't really use, that is Shadow's default attack with the X button when he's in midair. I don't even know if it has... I guess it's the Chaos Spear. It doesn't damage enemies, you can just use them to stun them, though we will be getting an upgrade later that can... you know, upgrade the Chaos Spear to actually damage enemies, but at that point, you're better off just, you know, it's a projectile attack. But you already have a much better projectile attack anyway. It's called the homing attack. It seemed like a redundant upgrade to me. You know, the only thing I really like about Shadow's Chaos Boost mode is, you know, he's constantly glowing red, which makes him stand out, you know. Kaioken for the win. Now, see, if I wasn't using Chaos Snap there, that rock that that Iblis creature was holding down probably would have collided with me in midair and I would have lost range. It actually happens to me a lot when I'm either trying to kill them with Shadow or Sonic. And I'm pretty sure it's happened to you guys plenty of times too, for those who've played this game. You know, you're homing attacking the guy multiple times and he's holding the rock, he hasn't thrown it yet, so you kill him in time, but the rock stays in midair, and like that, you get hit by it. I hate that. Why can't the rock just disappear with the enemy's death? That is incredibly goofy looking to me. I can't stress that enough. You see, that's Chaos Snap working properly. And of course I missed the fucking spring. What happened there? And that only happens to me when I'm in Chaos Boost mode. I was a bit disoriented there, and I just, again, that's one instance where I wish jumping on enemies would work. If I could, I probably wouldn't have died there. You see, I homing attack on the spring there while I'm not in Chaos Boost mode, and I hit the spring just fine. But for some reason, during that initial attempt, I completely missed the spring. I was thrown off completely. That doesn't happen all the time, mind you, but when it does, it just, what the fuck? I've actually had similar occurrences with that during Crisis City with Sonic, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a sequence where you're constantly hitting springs left, right, left, right, left, right in real rapid succession, and then for some reason there are times where Sonic will hit the initial spring and he'll just go straight up into the air without colliding with the other ones. What's causing that? I don't get that. And of course, I'm skipping a major chunk of this part right here just by just taking a few pot shots here, just grind on the rail. Because honestly, I just want to get this stage done and over with. Because the stage is not much different from Sonic's Flame Core. And we've all seen this before. And again, I grabbed the invincibility box. No invincibility animation. So you just could, take the music's word for it that you're invincible for the short time there. It's actually a bit misleading though, to be perfectly honest, because the music will end even when the animation's playing, and the music ends before the invincibility ends, so in the case where the graphic doesn't load, you're not exactly sure when the invincibility truly ends, so there are times you might run into an enemy thinking you're still invincible, and you'll end up just taking damage as a result. So, just to play it safe, don't try and run into enemies as soon as the music ends. But again, why doesn't the animation load in the first place? I don't know. I do not know. And there are times like this where I really wish Sonic the Hedgehog, this game, had a PC release. Because I'm pretty sure there would be plenty of people in the modding community that could have made this game so much better. Finish what was left unfinished. And we probably could have had at best, decent title here. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I mean, there are people that will go out of their way to mod their 360s in order to, tinker with the game here and there, but, they're violating warranties and stuff like that, and they're putting themselves at risk by doing that. It shouldn't have to be that way. This game should have had some kind of proper PC release to at least give us the modding, options. And with that said, yes, guys, I have seen the Pele the Beloved Dog videos. I have seen the Hats and the Pigeon and Wave Ocean videos, and I love those videos to death so much. I think the username was Mel Poncho, I believe it was. And dude, that was awesome. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm loving every single minute of those videos, especially Pickle Unleashed. Just for a quick word here, if you recall during the Sonic Extra video, where I glitched through the walls here with Knuckles to show that he had a victory animation. You can do that too with Rouge, she pretty much controls like Knuckles anyway. And you can get to the gold ring with Rouge. Now, but what will happen actually is that Rouge won't actually play a victory animation. The gameplay will still continue, but the result screen will just show up in front of the screen. You can still you're still in total control of Rouge while the result screen is showing up, and it's a bit weird. And if you guys want to see that, I can show that off in an extra video, assuming nobody else has done it already. But and I don't know, just like in case I don't remember to do that, I just let you know that that can happen if you decide to glitch through the walls with Rouge. But now, since we're near the end of the stage, we are coming to one of the best lines in Shadow's story right here, actually. Jason Griffith, I do not know what your script said. That definitely said ack. And you turned that into... There's like 3 A's, maybe 4 U's, 3 G's, maybe 2 H's. I'm not exactly sure what the hell happened there. Your script obviously has something different because that was simply an ack. Then again, it's not very exciting though when I think about it. You're falling down that long chasm and you're just like, ack. Ack!
I found a Chaos Emerald.
Don't touch it!
What? What's this?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for part 24, we are going to be fighting the Iblis Worm again, and, well, just spoiler warning, it's the exact same boss fight as Sonic's story, so if you want me to skip it, leave a comment, let me know. If not, we can showcase the entire boss fight again. I'm going to be using the same strategy I did with Sonic, so it's not going to be a long boss fight in general, but if you guys just want me to skip the boss fight, let me know. I'll see you guys for part 24. See ya.